All right, today we're going to unpack a huge concept, one that's behind some of the biggest brand names in the world and has also launched thousands of small businesses. Franchising. It's a really powerful way to grow, but man, it's also a serious trade-off. So let's get into what it really means to buy a so-called business in a box. So let me ask you this. Have you ever dreamed about being your own boss? But then the idea of having to create a brand, a product, a marketing plan, the whole shebang from absolute zero just feels, well, completely overwhelming. That exact feeling is what leads so many people to check out franchising. So first things first, what is franchising really? Well, at its heart, it's like getting a blueprint for a business that's already a proven success. Imagine you want to build a house, but instead of stressing over the design, you're just handed the award-winning plans and told, here, just build this. Okay, so here's the more official definition. It's a legal contract. Simple as that. You've got one party, the franchisor, who owns the brand and the successful system. They then grant the right to use that brand and system to someone else, the franchisee. And in return, the franchisee pays for that privilege, both with a big fee up front and then smaller payments over time. But honestly, the easiest way to picture it is exactly this, a business in a box. You get the whole package. Marketing strategies, supply chains, employee training manuals, it's all in there ready to go. Your job is to open the box, follow the instructions, and get the business up and running. Now, to really get this, you need to understand the two main players in this whole arrangement. I like to think of them as the architect, the one who designed the original blueprint, and the builder, the one who actually constructs the house in a new location. And the division of labor between these two is crystal clear. The franchisor, that's our architect, a company like McDonald's or 7-Eleven, they provide the famous brand name, the operations manual, all the support. The franchisee, that's the builder, is the entrepreneur who's actually on the ground. They're the ones putting up their own money to open the store. They manage it day to day, and they pay fees back to the architect for the privilege of using that famous proven design. And this right here brings us to the absolute core of our explainer today, the central trade-off. Because for the franchisee, buying a franchise is this constant balancing act between everything you get and everything you have to give up. So let's start with the good stuff, the upside. The number one advantage is definitely lower risk. I mean, you're not trying to convince people to try some brand new thing. You're opening a business with a name people already know and probably already like. That brand recognition makes everything easier, from getting your first customers in the door to even getting a loan from a bank, because they see it as a safer bet. You're basically buying into a ready-made support system. But of course, that safety net comes with a price tag. And it's not just the initial cost, which can be pretty steep. The bigger price, for a lot of people, is your freedom. You can't just decide to change the menu or tweak the logo or run a new marketing campaign. You have to follow the playbook. Exactly. And on top of all that, a cut of your revenue goes straight to the franchisor every single month, whether you're making a profit or not. The key thing to remember is this. You're an operator of the system, not an innovator. You may be wondering, why would a big successful brand even do this? Well, it's all about speed and scale. Franchising lets them expand their brand across the country or even the world super fast, using the money and the drive of local entrepreneurs. It's an incredibly effective way to grow while collecting a nice, steady income stream from all those fees. Okay, so you're weighing the pros and cons, but before anyone even thinks about signing on the dotted line, it's absolutely crucial to understand the risks involved and the one document that controls everything. Look, even with a famous name over the door, success is never, ever guaranteed. You could still pick a terrible location. Your business's reputation could get trashed because another franchisee 1,000 miles away had some huge scandal. And of course, the market itself can just change. These are all risks that you personally are taking on, even as part of this giant system. And that brings us to what is, without a doubt, the single most important piece of paper in this whole process, the franchise agreement. Every rule, every fee, every right, every single responsibility, it is all laid out in black and white right here. This is the legal playbook for your entire business life. This one document defines it all. How long you get to operate the franchise, what your exact fees are, the super strict standards you have to maintain, and, this is a big one, exactly how and why the relationship can be terminated. Believe me, nothing is left up to interpretation. So, after all that, what's the verdict? Is franchising a good idea or a bad one? Well, the truth is, there isn't a simple answer.
It all boils down to a really fundamental question about what kind of entrepreneur you truly want to be.
It really all comes down to this core dilemma. On one side, you've got the proven system. It offers you less risk, instant brand power, and a built-in support network. But on the other side, you've got true entrepreneurial freedom. The total control, the creativity, the chance to build your own vision from the ground up, but also way more uncertainty. It's a classic choice between structure and independence.
Which leaves us with this final question for you to think about. Is the safety and security that comes with following a proven blueprint worth the price you have to pay in your own personal and entrepreneurial freedom? How you answer that question will tell you everything you need to know about whether franchising is the right path for you.